On Wall Street today, a number of investors headed for the exits. By the end of trading, the Dow had lost more than 400 points. The market is worried about a possible trade war after the president's announcement today that he is putting new tariffs on imported aluminum and steel, a move designed to protect American industry and jobs. Margaret Brennan is at the White House with more on this.
It'll be 25% for steel. It'll be 10% for aluminum. And it'll be for a long period of time.
Industry CEOs gathered at the White House celebrated the president's decision.
We are confident that it will be a good conclusion.
But the surprise announcement triggered a market sell-off as concerns swirl about whether the tariffs will spike costs for U.S. manufacturers or even trigger a trade war with China. The president routinely accuses Beijing of unfair trade practices.
What they do is they dump massive amounts of product in our country, and it just kills, it destroys our companies and our jobs.
Chinese officials were also caught off guard. President Xi Jinping's top economic advisor was in Washington today for what were supposed to be trade negotiations.
You can win against China if you're smart.
The president said he was delivering on a campaign promise. Senator Sherrod Brown, a Democrat, cheered the decision, calling it long overdue for shuttered steel plants across Ohio. But several top Republicans urged caution. Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana.
Once you start imposing tariffs, you don't do it in a vacuum. Other countries respond.
Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse called the tariffs a, quote, massive tax increase on American families. You'd expect a policy this bad from a leftist administration, not a supposedly Republican one.
I don't know that the president will or should ever apologize for protecting American workers, and certainly not to Senator Sasse.
It has been a difficult week for the president. His closest and longest-serving aide, Hope Hicks, announced her resignation yesterday, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, saw his security clearance downgraded and questions raised about whether he is vulnerable to manipulation by foreign officials.
I miss every one of you every day.
Speaking to employees he used to oversee at the Department of Homeland Security, Chief of Staff John Kelly seemed to acknowledge the White House turmoil.
The last thing I wanted to do was walk away from one of the great honors of my life, being the Secretary of Homeland Security. But I did something wrong, and God punished me, I guess.
Some interesting comments today from Kelly. Margaret, he was brought in to make sense of some of the confusion at the White House. Is General Kelly still viewed as that stabilizing force?
Well, that's a relative term, but sources tell CBS News that some of these recent departures may be part of the Chief of Staff's effort to institute a chain of command. Now, family members who double as advisors, like Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, don't easily fit into that structure. And this week, if you look at the officials who left the administration, including Communications Director Hope Hicks, all of them happen to be close to the Trump family. So while each may have their own personal reasons for deciding to exit right now, some officials here say that the bottom line is that this is ultimately a win for John Kelly's efforts to institute order.
Margaret Brennan, moderator of Face the Nation, thank you very much.